What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the MONOPOSTO 2023 track guide series. Today we have the second circuit in the game, the Saudi Arabia track, the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit. This is my favourite track in F1, and today I'm going to be showing you all of my secrets after quite a few laps of practice on how to master the circuit, how to get the most out of your qualifying lap. Check out the previous episode if you've not seen it. That took place in Bahrain. Without further ado, please be sure to smash the subscribe button if you're excited for this video, and now let's get straight into it. First thing to talk about, setup. Let's begin by looking at the correct setup settings that I would use for Saudi Arabia, and it's quite simple. Everything in the middle. This is a track which requires quite a lot of downforce for these high speed corners, but it's also a power track with long straights and DRS zones, so you want a good balance of everything. So that's, you know, medium wings, medium suspension, medium brake bias. So let's get into the lap now. As you approach the final corner in preparation to start the lap, you want to take a wide line to carry as much speed as possible. This is similar to with Bahrain, so you kind of want to follow the outside line, then you want to be on the power as soon as you can, up into ERS immediately on the exit, and you'll open DRS. Blast down the pit straight. You want to be on the right hand side of the track, as turn 1-2 is a chicane with a left right hander. Approaching turn 1 then, you want to brake at the 50-meter board, or as the curbing starts on the right hand side. Just about here is your braking point, and your reference for turning is when the green and white curbing starts on the left hand side. You can see the arrow pointing to it now. That's where you want to slowly turn the car in, and to be honest, I wouldn't brake. I would almost roll the car through the first chicane. Use the curb on the exit. This curb, use that if you need to, but do not, whatever you do, go over that curb as you go onto the gravel, and you will spin the car out. So use the car on the exit. You don't have to. It doesn't make much of a difference. And then as you leave the first chicane, you're coming up towards turn number 4, which is one brake, and it's quite a quick left-hander. So one dab on the brakes, and then you're straight back on the throttle. You can use ERS to get to that corner, but don't use it through this section. These corners through the S's are flat. However, you want to make sure you have a lift just on that curbing, green and white curbing on the right hand side. Just as that starts, you want to lift, then back on the power again. This corner you can just about keep flat. I know in real life obviously you can't take the flat. However, if you try and take all of the S's flat, like this corner here, you can't take that flat because that happens. So make sure you try and avoid doing that if at all possible. This is the best way to take it. As you can see, there's one quick dab on the brakes. You're fighting the car, wrestling the car, and then you just have a slight lift off the throttle, and then you're straight back on the power, and you can just about keep it flat. But as you can see, completely on the limit. This is the most on the limit corner you will see. That is millimeters from the wall. You can go over the green and white curb and use the blue runoff if you can, but obviously you don't really want to go any further over than that, otherwise you're going to lose a tyre into the wall. This corner, you want to brake just kind of certainly no later than the 50-meter board. If you brake at 50 meters, you'll need a heavier brake application. I brake slightly earlier and sort of roll the car through. This is what happens though if you turn in too late. So be sure to brake and make sure that you carry not too much speed so that you can make the corner, because otherwise if you do that, you're just going to oversteer, go wide and come back and then spin the car. So you want to make sure you don't bottom out and take it nice and slowly. For these corners coming up again, they're taken flat. ERS deployment is obviously as you want. I would just say use corner exits and on straights. This corner is an interesting one. This one catches me out quite a lot. However, you can probably afford to brake enough and take this corner in 6th gear. So you don't want to brake too much. Again, this is quite a high speed circuit. You only want to be about 190 k's through that corner. As we come on towards, this is the back straight. Obviously, this is just the shortest line through all the S's. These are all flat. DRS, ERS down here. Now this corner, one of the hardest on the track, as you go under the bridge back behind the pit lane. This is arguably the quickest corner on the track because you're carrying the most speed. Now the best braking and turning reference would be the green and white curbing on the left hand side. Once again, I would advise to you that where the arrow was pointing to, that curb is where you one dab on the brakes, just lift off for a split second. This is what happens if you try and take it flat. You just can't. You do have to lift off or brake for a split second. This is the best way to do it if you ask me, and then straight back on the power like immediately. It's literally just a fraction of a second of a dab on the brakes or a fraction of a second of a lift. maybe a bit more than that if you do choose to lift. I would brake very slightly and then get straight back on the power. As you come towards the back straight, obviously DRS, make sure you go wide on that exit and then hold the inside line, hog the inside. As you come towards the final corner, you want to come towards the right hand side again, brake at the 50-meter board, which is right on the far right hand side. This is a very difficult corner to get right. However, you want to sort of come and take a wide entry and come narrow on the exit, and obviously up into DRS and ERS on the exit. That completes a full lap of Jeddah. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to play my full hot lap to you now. This is the best qualifying lap I think that you can possibly do around Saudi Arabia. As I say, I really hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. If you did, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Both links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.